I can show you households where they're all eating the same thing and one kid has obesity and the other two don't. I think people who take care of childhood obesity and childhood metabolic disease just have a completely different perspective about the whole thing. Yes, we all agree that everybody should eat healthier and exercise more, but we've just seen so many outliers who, in fact, they're not the outliers. The outlier is the kid who comes in where they're just eating crap and never moving. Part of that's because by the time they get to a weight management clinic, somebody's already tried to get them healthier. But again, and it is the food environment, but it's just the food environment through epigenetics, not necessarily through the path that most people think about it, which is the same old calories in, calories out model, which
Right.
just doesn't hold true anymore. I mean, it holds true to a degree, but you and your child have to be on the same page in terms of readiness for change. If you tell your kid to stop drinking sugar sweetened beverages, you can enforce that when the kid's in front of you. But if your kid's not in agreement, they just go do whatever they want when they're not in front of you. My approach to modifying diet is baby steps. Usually I start with sugar sweetened beverages, and depending on the number that the person consumes, I will come up with a reasonable goal. If they're drinking 4 Cokes a day, let's try to cut it to 2. I don't go from 4 to 0 because when people and kids fail, which is not a word I like to use, but don't achieve a goal that has been set out for them, it impacts them negatively and they become less inclined to continue to pursue that goal. So it's always reasonable, achievable baby steps. Maybe it's not even from 4 to 2. Maybe it's first week cut by 1 sugar sweetened beverage a day, second week by another until you get to 0. And when you're done with sugar sweetened beverages, let's move on to chips or whatever other dietary improvement you and your child can agree is a reasonable goal. If you stack those up over time, you can get to a place where the diet is better. I would also make sure that whatever parent is doing this behavior modification, they got to do it themselves and they got to do it for the whole family. Can't be the kid alone. If you tell the kid alone that they have to do this, but nobody else in the family is doing it, it ain't going to happen. That's what makes treating kids somewhat more difficult is that it's a family affair. I've had lots of families along the way who will not budge. I'm not taking Coke away from the rest of the family just because one family member can't have it. My other family members are skinny. Why can't they have Coke? Well, they can't have Coke because you have one family member who's suffering from obesity and she needs your support. Her siblings also need to support. If you have to have a Coke, they can have it outside the house, just not in front of the one family member who needs to change their habits.